Hello, great people. I hope that you are doing well and you are well kept of the Lord. Today, I want us to talk about something that I've been thinking of recent, and something that has caused many people to drop off and stop doing something constructive that they were doing. And this thing is called criticism. Criticism is whereby people talk in a way to disapprove something that you are doing. Criticism is whereby people talk, make comments that are to discourage you, that are meant to disapprove you in a way or another. In the Old Testament, critics used to be called slingers. And they used to be called slingers in a way that slingers are people who, when they came for battle to against a certain city, the first thing they would do is to come and block the streams of water that were entering into the city. And the reason why they blocked the streams of water was to provoke the people in the city to come out, to open the gates and allow them to come out in search of water. And therefore they would get into the city and get in battle and maybe overcome the city. And this is what criticism seeks to achieve in our lives. When people criticize you because of something that you are doing or something that you are not doing, the main reason why they do that is to provoke you, to respond in a manner that is not pleasing, or to even stop you from doing what you are doing. The best way to handle criticism is simply to shake it off. And maybe this is something that you need to hear about criticism. The more you think about your critics and what they say, the more venomous it becomes, the more poisonous it becomes. So the best way to handle criticism is simply to shake it off and ignore it and seek to do something that is more constructive. So anytime you are criticized for something that you are doing or something that you are not doing, the best way to handle it is not to get vengeful and seek to revenge or seek to answer back. The best way to handle it is to shake it off and move on. One thing you should know is that people will always talk for something that you do or something that you don't do. Either you are Satan or you are Jesus, people will talk about your life. But however, criticism most of the time comes in a negative way. But there are two things that are positive that criticism comes to achieve in your life. And the number one thing that criticism comes to show you is that you are making progress. You are doing something good. Because you are doing something good and something that is constructive, people will seek to discourage you. And that is a strategy from the enemy. So whenever people talk about what you are doing something important. Add effort. Do it much more better and much more often. However, criticism might come in a way to show you that there is a decline in your character or in your mode of doing things. So anytime you are criticized, it is also important you analyze your critics and you analyze their comments and you improve where you can. If it is something that you are doing in a way that is not pleasing or in a way that is not satisfying, or even it is your performance that is not satisfying, it is something very important. You seek to improve and you seek to do it in a way that is much more better. Criticism is good, but also it has its that side which is negative. You either ignore it or you learn from it. Thank you so much.